Sock with Waddle and Sylvie in 9 minutes. Charlie Bevins with the lunch rush.
Okay, gentlemen. The ESPN Quarterback Confidential is out. This is one of my favorite pieces that comes out around this time of year. That and the quarterback tiers. Here are the quarterbacks ranked as the top 3 by these quarterbacks surveyed. Mahomes, number 1. Lamar Jackson, number 2. Joe Burrow, 3.
I think you're missing Josh Allen. There's a lot of love for Lamar Jackson in all of these lists.
Yeah.
I feel like Josh Allen's a better player than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Fairly.
Well, this is players ranking, right? So I think players have a greater appreciation for Lamar Jackson than I think what we watch week in and week out.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that that's where it is.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think the players absolutely love Lamar Jackson, no doubt.
They do.
All right. They also did another category, which was rookie quarterback who have the most successful career. Caleb Williams, 1. Jaden Daniels, 2. J.J. McCarthy, 3.
All right.
No Drake May.
Well, I wonder if that's because they think Drake May is going to get killed in New England behind that offensive line once he does start for the Patriots. But I could see a lot of people are very high on Daniels, obviously Caleb Williams. And I think like McCarthy sitting out and then also having Justin Jefferson, like one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL, is going to help him a lot too.
No Bo Nix.
No Bo Nix on here.
No quarterback whisperer, Sean Payton. Not going to get it done with Bo Nix.
I think Bo Nix is going to be pretty good.
I think he'll be fine. He's played a lot of ball.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. I put Drake May ahead of J.J. McCarthy. That's what I would do.
All right. They also did the most overrated quarterback. I'm going to have you guess this one. Who do you think they voted as the number 1 most overrated quarterback in the NFL?
Russell Wilson.
I'm looking at it, so I'm going to pretend that I don't know that the answer
Dak
is
Prescott?
Josh Allen.
It is Josh Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
That probably, that explains why he's not in the top 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely does.
Probably the turnovers recently, I would say, leads to it. When a wide receiver wants out, people in this league talk to each other. I would imagine that would have some influence on some of the 103 voters that voted on this. It's not surprising.
I can see that.
The other 2 are Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Do you find that surprising at all? I feel like those are less surprising to me than Josh Allen being on here.
Tua was a little surprising. I'm not surprised by Jalen just because of the regression he had last year.
Yeah. I could see people seeing Tua as like flimsy, where it's the system, it's the stellar wide receivers, it's the coaching that prop up Tua. I could see that. So I understand why he would make their list.
All right. They also did the most underrated quarterback. Tied for 1 apiece, Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford. Tied for 3rd apiece. Actually, and then we have a 4-way tie for 3rd. Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Bryce Young.
Okay.
Jordan Love's not underrated. I would say I would rank them Purdy, then Goff. Then
Jared Goff's the most underrated in the league, and Baker Mayfield is the 2nd most underrated player in the league.
I think players hate Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's why
but he's underrated.
Yeah.
Same with Jared Goff. Jared Goff's really good.
Yeah, he is.
I push back with you on the Stafford thing. I think Stafford is a little underrated.
Stafford's going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Stafford's great, man.
I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Do you think people look at Stafford in the proper context now, or do you always I always think that people look at him as more closer to 10 than they do to 1, but reality, I think he's probably a little closer to 1. Not saying he is 1, but I think he is higher at his ceiling than lower to 10.
I mean, he put up a ton of numbers with Detroit and then finally won when he got to LA. I think he's properly rated. I think he's a top 10 quarterback when he's healthy. I think everybody knows he's a top 10 quarterback when he's healthy. I think he is a properly rated quarterback.
I agree with that.
Do you think Bryce Young being on here is weird?
It is weird. Bryce Young was trash last year.
Is he overrated?
I don't think he's underrated or overrated. We've only seen 1 year, and the first year was bad.
We know he's properly rated.
Properly rated quarterback.
Yeah, properly rated.
Who's on the properly rated quarterback list?
It doesn't look like they were asked.
Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields,
Mike Lennon. Biggest trash talking quarterback. This may also explain the Josh Allen piece because he is number one as the biggest trash talker. I feel like NFL players just must not like Josh Allen too.
Yeah, that might be there. Yeah, that might be true. I can see it. That might be true.
Baker Mayfield, no surprise too, and also Aaron Rodgers also not really much of a surprise at 3.
Yeah, but that's justifiable.
What else do you have, Charlie?
The quarterback tiers is out. Mike Sandoz, his big piece every year, the quarterback tiers.
His big piece.
Laying out his big piece for everybody every single year.
He's laying out
Here
his
comes
big
Mike Sando.
piece.
I'm walking around the house hanging dog.
Yeah, his big piece.
I'm coming on.
Yep, there it is. Yep.
Too bad.
It's coming in the mouth.
Okay. Sorry, Charlie. Go ahead.
In tier 1, he had 2 other quarterbacks along with Patrick Mahomes in tier 1. He had Joe Burrow and Josh Allen on this. The main reason I want to draw your attention here is because I don't think we should have Mahomes in his own tier. Like, we can't be putting other guys in the same tier as him. I think he is in his own world, and then the tiers start below that.
I agree with you. The way I visually think about it is that there are 2 guys who are the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, and the names are Mahomes and Burrow. And yes, Mahomes is better than Burrow, but I think those 2 are by far the 2 best players in the league. That's what I've felt for 2 years now. I know that he was injured last year, but when he's healthy, Joe Burrow is not as good as Mahomes, but he's the second best quarterback in football.
Yeah, I mean, for the reasons that Sando gave, the team wins because of him. He expertly handles pure passing situations, and he has no real holes in his game. To me, that only fits 2 guys. Josh Allen has turnover issues.
Yeah.
So he has holes in his game. Joe Burrow and Mahomes. Now, Joe Burrow, when he's healthy, do you consider that a hole in his game?
I do.
Health?
I don't, because it's football, so I assume that all players will get hurt eventually.
So I don't. I mean, if you're just going based off that criteria, who's got no holes in their game, pure passing situations, they're amazing, and you win because of them consistently, it's Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Even though people want to say Patrick Mahomes should be in his own tier, that's fine. But under these guidelines, there's 2 quarterbacks in that tier, to me. So I agree with you, Chris.
Yeah.
Couple notable jumpers. Brock Purdy made his way 2 tiers up to tier 2, as did Jordan Love. And Jared Goff jumped up a tier. So they are all considered now tier 2 quarterbacks, kind of in the same world as like Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert. Like, they're in that same company now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that that's wrong. I would like to see Brock Purdy do it again, but I would say, okay, move up to the tier. That's good. Yeah. No problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he got 2 Super. Like, what am I going to say about Brock Purdy anymore? He got 2 Super.
You'd like to see it again. Sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure, but he's proven it now. What, a year and a half? He didn't have the half year, and then he had the full year last year.
Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, I'd like to see it again from both of you.
Yeah, okay, fine.
From both of
you.
CJ Stroud, I'd like to see it again from all 3 of you.
Sure.
All 3. Let's see it again.
Agree to agree.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
Appreciate it. There's the lunch rush.
Anything else?
What else? What do you got? What do you got? What else? What else? It's time for the final word, brought to you by White Buffalo Barber Shop. The final word is brought to you by Leon in Rockford. That's coming up next.